Good morning, everyone. It is time for a daily message on 6/4/2021. With the 6 and the 4, we've got a 10. So we're knowing who we are with that 0. So we're really stepping into the fullness of who we are with the added value of all that we know ourselves not to be anymore, right? All that we watch pass away. It's sort of this, we can't be the fullness of what we have become until we truly grieve all that we have been. And that is a full acknowledgement of all that has been, feeling that out, those gifts of our, our shadow, our inner child, as they come up, and fully embodying that so that it may disappear and pass on forevermore. And in that 10 plus the 5 year, we have a 16, or a 15, which makes a 6. A 6th day of a 6 months. So lots of healing in that, lots of nurturing ourselves in that, and good shit. I'm just shuffling these cards a little bit, clearing them for the day. What's it going on? I shaved yesterday. Repping my dark side of the moon. I love this whole prison thing, and it really reflects a sort of new paradigm of, we used to need the shadow, right, to appreciate the brightness of the light, but now we can step out of that knowing that the shadow and the light, the shadow is just sort of this refraction of the hologram of which the light is a primary component. And what we see in this, the darkness, is that it takes all the colors to create them, just as all those colors are created by the brightness. So, we're really in a lot of tropes, a lot of cycles, and stepping out of that sort of need for suffering, that finding the value in the pain and the hardship, knowing that because we've experienced pain, that doesn't make us more valuable or honorable, and because others haven't experienced pain, that doesn't make them less worthy. And we have, that is deeply ingrained, especially in us, former evangelicals. So, we have King of Wands in reverse, which this is my card for the year. And this would be an energy that we're embodying as recognizing ourselves as the prism. We don't go, Serafina told me once, the King of Wands doesn't change the world. He doesn't change for the world. He changes the world for himself. And that's really understanding that it's not external actions that we make to make the world a better place for us to be happy. It is recognizing that the reflection we're seeing of the world starts from inside our prism. A prism, 7 of Swords. This comes up every day, every single day. I draw this card. As she sort of dodges the needles, the swords, she uses her bare hand instead of using the hand that's protected. And then the 8 of Wands, so this is an action needing to be taken, needing our attention. It's ready, boom, to go. So this 7 of Swords, it really, the multiplicity of this meaning, it's just always something. There's 2 sort of black flowers on here, but they're sort of shadowy. That's sort of what sticks out today, and the background is quite prismatic. So within that sort of recognizing the value of everything inherently, right? All sort of refractions of that light, not judging one as bad or one as better. And those are sort of the gifts, I think, offered by our shadow, is that inner child asking us to see those aspects of ourselves as just as worthy, because they're the ones sort of orchestrating these gifts behind the scenes. This Five of Swords, defeat in reverse. So there's some vulnerability here and a continuation to fight. It's about letting ourselves respond, in those dramas and to our perceived enemies, right? Because we must engage and we must respond whether or not we deem it as worthy. And that's really validating our feelings, validating our fears, not from a place of powerlessness, but from a place of truly a true empowerment. Because it's kind of like telling someone the other day, we were talking about, yelling at your guides. And I was laughing so hard because she was talking about firing one of her guides. And I thought that was hilarious. And it's like, was that unhealthy? But it's really like, if you're yelling at this, magic wizard in the sky who has power over you, then no, that's not healthy. But if you're standing in your power as the incarnate, then it's good to feel that emotion out, and you don't have a choice. The more you try to run from it, hide it, bypass it, the more that it's going to come back in different ways, in different flowers, in different forms. And in the Nine of Pentacles, there's this abundance acting on our internal reflection in that sort of the abundance of our opportunity and the how it's sort of always available. And I draw this every day as well. This is so weird. I'm like tired of drawing this card and that Seven of Swords, but you can tell that they keep coming up because I just don't get it yet. This is sort of that conflict of interest of the competitive nature that was our paradigm and the way that we went about the world. And it's like, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to change the world by physical action. I'm going to change people's minds. But really understanding that the reflection that we're seeing of others is, it's not something that, everyone has every mind. Why are we seeing that version of them? How can we use this to inspire ourselves? And when we hold that space, recognizing that each person that we come into contact with is a fully ascended, multidimensional, consciously reflecting us what we need for our highest evolution, we then allow them to sort of play that for us. And in the wildness of my interactions with people, they will do that. No matter how unconscious we think they are, we deem them, they truly, they'll surprise you. And then we have the High Priestess in reverse. So this is that sacred knowledge that is readily available. You just receive it. Anything that you need to know is right there before you, and it's all sort of in this moment. You have that access. There's no other that can sort of guide you there. Whenever we hold that space for others to play that sort of character for us, they can teach us things, but it really takes our recognition of ourselves and them as that energy that allows us to truly witness, that. And then this is success. Keep pulling this one. In reverse, this is really appreciating the simple pleasures, the simple things, and using the symbols around us to help us tune and activate certain vibrations within, and that is how we move forward. And so when we're taking actions in that external hologram, it's not that we think that external action is what's going to get the results that we want. We know that it's a reflection of our choosing empowerment. It's like when you fill out a job application, it's not that application normally that really gets you that job. It's taking that opportunity that allows you to see other opportunities around you and interact with other characters who hold those opportunities for you. And the Ace of Pentacles is your reward. So the final outcome, that's truly the fruits of your labor, right? The propagation of your livestock. And hopefully I can, because I'm doing my diamond to the divination, so each way that they all connect makes a statement. Maybe I can get some clarity on the Seven of Swords, but I'm going to work around. So the Ace of Pentacles to that Ten of Hearts, so that appreciating the small details, using them only as symbols to help us tune inwardly, brings us to that sort of required action. And that action that is required is self-empowerment if we want to change the collective sort of reflection that we're seeing. So then the Eight of Wands to the Nine of Pentacles, acting in that abundance, right? Into this sort of conflict of interest of what it truly means to be abundant, successful, because you have the abundance that's also on the other side of that Ten of Hearts in this sort of reflective, like, what is integral, what is intrinsic, and then what is requiring our attention as far as recognizing that in others. This conflict of interest comes into conditional giving. And I've noticed, someone buys me dinner and I'm like, oh, well, now I have to buy you dinner. Well, that exchange, right, bastardizes that gift, because when we give, we want to give unconditionally. When we receive, we want it to be unconditionally. No more deals. Deals are done. So as I make an offering to you, I don't want anything in return, because then that takes that energy that I gave you and moves it into something that I don't want to be a part of. So when that's that sort of being open to receiving in a bigger and better way. And that, requires, and so then the Five of Wands into that Five of Swords, defeat, and then the Seven of Swords, which is, often the Thief card, right? Like it's almost like she's stealing something, and she could use that thing that she's stealing to protect herself, but instead she uses her bare arm because, she's trying to protect this thing. It's like more important to her that she preserve that for someone else. And, that's sort of that vulnerability of the defeat, letting ourselves we can't truly witness these refractions, of the hologram unless we fully, authentically are vulnerable and feeling our feelings and playing those things out, and not judging ourselves, because it's often this shitty shame spiral that keeps these cycles turning. It's like, oh shit, that's how I felt, and that's what I acted on. I'm so bad. I'm so terrible. But it's like, no, that's what you acted on, and there was a reason that you acted that way, and it doesn't make it okay, right? We're not relinquishing responsibility in this acknowledgement of all as that sort of divinity, but we are allowing ourselves to break that cycle of shame and suffering that we perpetuated. The victimhood, the perpetratorship, is just, it stops in our awareness of it. We may bear witness so that it may be embodied, honored as that light that we are. So I hope this helps you on your day-to-day in recognizing all of you that has come and all of you that has passed, so that you may step into and continue in the lovely life that you're living. May you be blessed as I am. May I see that I am all that I see. May I see all that's in my eye as mine. May I see all in my eye that's mine. Yes, indeed. Alright, so long. I love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in, and catch you on the flip side. I'll be doing personal messages later on Psychosomagic on Facebook, PsychoSomagik, and then psychosomagic.com. It's it's just a C. You can book with me, and then and the messages will be free on Psychosomagic on Facebook, so that you may just as a thank you, and so that I may be of service in a deeper way to anyone who may need. Love you.